Place is high. Take a look. It's in a book. Reading Rainbow.
I can be...
B or do?
B? I don't know.
B or do?
I thought it was do.
Maybe it's do. Is it B? Fuck,
I think it's do.
Do anything.
I can do...
I thought it's B. No, I think it's be anything, go anywhere. Do anything, place to go, ways to grow, or reading Rainbow. Reading Rainbow.
Okay, going back to
anyway,
burn this motherfucker down.
Yeah. So I was talking to Jason, and he was telling us about the fueling situation. And his wife's yelling at the dude, and she's like, "I will burn this motherfucker down."
Oh, she said that to him?
Yeah, and Jason's like, "I know you will. Just calm down. I was just like,
oh, did Jason intervene at some point?
No. That's what she was yelling at him.
Oh, after the fact.
After the fact.
Okay. Yeah,
and
I didn't see the. I just saw Andrea was pissed, but I didn't see what led up to that.
I didn't either, and it's a shitty situation that she. It's not even really a shitty situation. It was just a situation where you or I were supposed to be in the suit, and
but they don't make suits for fucking grown ass men.
They didn't have them.
Well, yeah.
But
I don't think they. Well, I don't know what happened last week, but I guess someone quit.
I think
was part of the problem.
Yeah, someone. Well, they either quit or they were relieved of duty.
Okay.
And
one of the two.
And it was kind of just this. Get the fuck over. You almost sideswiped the shit out of them.
Dude, the Brickyard's that way, bro.
No shit. So something happened, they left, whatever. So they lost a suit. Fire suit, not a lawsuit. Lost a suit, and so we were going to fill in to do the fire extinguisher job, which is literally a prop. It's a prop position.
Because there's a dude with a fire extinguisher.
Actually, a guy that comes to the pit. They got two officials that show up to the pit stop. They have one that makes sure that
there's no violations.
There's
the
you
vehicle's
can't
in the box, no parts or anything, or.
But you can't. Yeah, you can't airlift it, air jacket, and fuel at the same time. It has to be fueled. Then you air jack, and then you take and start the whole pit process. But Andrew is standing there, and fuel they pit, they fill up, and then something I don't remember exactly what happened. But
something happened. There was fuel coming off of the overflow.
Well, it's because they sat so long. That's the problem. So they sat way too long. Typically, it would have just been like a little sputter and boom, gone, and then that would have just evaporated into the atmosphere. But that wasn't the case. So fuel was coming out of the overflow, and the fire official was like, "Hey, fuel," and Andrea was like, "No, hey, guys, fuel," because she didn't know what it was.
Yeah.
And it literally could have been anything. It could have been water. It could have been fuel. It could have been.
Well, I mean, it's like clear liquid. I mean, they're basically running on kerosene, so it looks like water.
So, and whatever the case was, someone yelled at somebody, and Andrea had her mask up.
And she couldn't hear.
And because she couldn't hear, and she got accused of getting red flagged for that, when I think the actual red flag wasn't for that. I think it was for the fuel.
Yeah.
So, but whatever. I mean, it's like, that's the, fucked up shitty part that shouldn't have happened, but that's what happens in pit stops.
Mm-hmm.
So, but anyway, that was just, I burned this motherfucker down.
That's funny.
It was hilarious because it was, and the fact that it revolved around fuel makes it even funnier. The gasoline thing. But.
The gasolina?
Yeah. So, amazing weekend. Like, can't thank Jason enough for inviting us out.
Yeah, for
just
sure.
Hanging out, taking photos, taking video, like meeting the guys, seeing the process, trying to understand, like, how
all the things that were happening.
Yeah, that all goes on with that. Still don't understand the scoring part. Figure that out later. Because like with that endurance race they had today, it was he started in like 19th place, I think. And then, but that was 19th overall. So I don't know where he was in the who was actually doing the 3-hour enduro versus the 8-hour enduro.
So when you looked at the board, wait, why is mine not picking up?
I don't know.
Hello? and we will start a second conversation.
Sweet.
Okay, so Andre was going to burn this motherfucker down.
Yeah, we talked about that. We talked about it was, but Jason inviting us out. That was like
I don't think we talked about what this whole deal was. So I guess we have to go back to the beginning.
Yeah. So
I don't know when this all started.
So this all happened.
No, Andrea started off with like, "Hey, you should come out for my birthday in Nashville."
For Jason's birthday in Nashville.
Oh, is that what it was? Okay.
Yeah, it was
somebody's birthday.
It was Jason's birthday because his birthday is in April. It's April 1st.
Or is it?
I don't know. Joke's on us. So he was going to be in Nashville for a race, and Andrea, I don't know if initially she didn't tell him it was going to be kind of a surprise thing, or if she told him, but she just, and I don't know who all she texted.
Yeah.
Eventually, I think she texted you. I know she texted me, but she texted people individually without Jason on the text messages, so I wasn't sure.
The aforementioned texts.
Yeah. So my wife and I were going to go down.
And I was going to go down.
You were going to go down.
My wife, she had something scheduled already. She was going on a horse excursion of some sort, which she does, because, that's what my wife does. She does horse things.
Fucking lane.
We are?
I am. Yeah, I need to be in that lane because we're going to go up and then we're going left then right.
Like a double left? The left after the left.
A left then a right. To get on 70.
Okay.
But I ended up getting COVID.
El COVID.
Yeah.
El Covidad.
Which everybody knows that.
La COVID. If after this car goes, you can switch.
Yeah, I'm going to switch over. Okay. Everybody knows that I didn't know that I even had it.
No.
Had zero symptoms.
You had the ninja COVID.
Yeah, and I actually would have continued to go had I not gone to get called for sinus infection stuff.
Had you not gone to get yourself diagnosed, you would have just gone anyway.
Just gone anyway, so because I wouldn't have known.
Said, "Hey, Tennessee, here's some COVID.
Here's some COVID for you. Have some of this."
Yeah.
So then that kind of got screwed, and Jason's response was, "Well, don't worry about it. We're going to be in Indianapolis in October." And I'm like, "I am there. I don't care.
Yeah.
I'm coming. I will get there one way, somehow, one way or another. I'll get there." And then you as well was invited to come out, and so
yeah, because Andrea was kind of bummed
that no one was going to be there.
That nobody was going to be there.
That no one was coming
out. And we felt bad, but
watch out,
did I though?
Shoulder ahead.
Well, you felt ill.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm sure you did feel bad that you couldn't be there for his birthday.
Yeah, I was upset that I couldn't be down there for his birthday. And then they went back down for her birthday too.
Okay, that's why.
And I was going to go to that one. We were going to go try to make it to that one, and we couldn't make it to that one either. But I felt, I felt horrible that I couldn't go down there to Nashville. And then when he said he was going to be in Indy in October, I'm like, I'm whatever,
we're there.
Whatever it takes, we're coming. We're going to get there.
Like, I think we almost instantly booked hotels.
Pretty close.
Or Airbnb, because I had forgotten I had reserved this Airbnb. It was so long ago.
It was it was a couple months
almost
ago.
2 months ago.
Yeah, that was booked. And
because I had another stay up in Michigan, and when I looked, I was looking at the wrong reservation, because I was like, what? I'm not staying in Indianapolis. And I was like, oh, yes I am.
Oh, shit.
Just not in August, yeah.
But, yeah, so we came out, and that's that. Now hopefully it's a thing.
How did the media thing come up? Did we propose that, or?
You did, actually. You said, I'm gonna look into media passes.
Oh, yeah.
And I was like, oh, I didn't even think about that shit.
Yeah.
And you're like, yeah, I'm going to look into media passes. And then you sent someone an email, but you never heard back. I don't know who you emailed.
Well, I emailed SRO, actually.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right. So,
which are the people that are in charge of this race.
So that, and then I don't think you ever heard back from them, actually.
I messaged them back, and then like a day or two later, like, hey, sorry about that. They had switched something internally, and they're like, yeah, we'll get back to you in a couple of weeks, because it was still like a month out.
Oh yeah, we were still a good ways out when we were trying to get that.
Yeah. So then I think it was like Monday, this past Monday, when I finally got notified that we had media passes.
But I thought that we got you. Yeah, you got no. But I thought Jason was.
Jason notified us 2 weeks ago
that we could get
that we could get the pit passes or whatever these things are called. I don't know.
We
got white bracelets.
Yeah, we've got white bracelets. We've got lanyards.
Pretty much meant you could go anywhere.
We've got green parking things. We've got.
So it was weird. Jason's pass got us access everywhere.
Yeah.
As well as the media pass got us everywhere.
Well, the media pass gets us more access.
Correct.
Watch out, vehicle on
So
shoulder ahead.
they gave us purple vests. Like we had to go to this thing at 7:30 this morning, which really wasn't a thing.
Yeah.
It was just
kind of unnecessary. I think it was just a liability thing.
Yeah, it's
pretty
just
much.
like, hey, here's where you can go, here's where you can't go, and you can pretty much go everywhere you want.
Yeah.
That's what that's what it ended up being.
Yeah, and he said if anybody gives you trouble, just don't give them a hard time.
Yeah, don't give them a hard time about it. Like I probably could have climbed up on the roof of one of the buildings, and as long as no one gave me a hard time about it.
Yeah, because the way after it was all said and done, what I figured out is that SRO is basically borrowing the course from Indy Motor Speedway.
Yeah.
And Indy Motor Speedway, I think, were the ones that had the course officials, the safety people.
Yeah.
So I think that's why he phrased it that way, because I was kind of confused as to why he said it like that.
Yeah, but it was like there were places like I got some dirty looks because I walked around the track almost its entirety on the infield, and there were some people that they were taking photographs, but they couldn't get to where I was going, and I was walking right by them, and I'm just getting like these nasty looks.
We're like normal, like people
just,
without vests?
Yeah, just, your regular Joe Schmo.
Yeah.
You peons that can't get media passes and purple vests. But it was like, one guy was like, I walked by, and he was taking a photo, and I went to duck down, and he was like, fuck. I'm like, I said, did I get in here? He's like, yeah. I'm like, oh, my bad. Like, I ducked down.
Yeah.
It's not my fault you can't take a photo properly.
Vehicle on shoulder ahead.
But doing this week is kind of reignited photography for me.
So, Liz, you hear that? It was the event, not Mo.
It was kind of Mo getting the media passes. Now I want to buy like new gear because my gear is 13 years old. Vintage digital.
Yes.
Come on, homie. You want to get over? Let's go. I'm not in a hurry, so. Yeah, vintage digital. That's what I shoot with instead of like vintage film or, it's antique digital camera.
Yeah. But I feel like the only difference between what Jason got us and what we got from the media passes is the media passes gave you better parking.
Oh, absolutely.
Because we parked literally like right behind Gasoline Alley.
Yeah.
With the media passes. It was pretty dope.
I will take that every time. And we didn't even abuse it.
No.
Like that was the problem.
Yeah.
We ended up parking where we could have gotten to, which is really only one lot over, and the lots aren't. It's a 2-minute walk from like one lot to the next if you take your time.
I think the media parking was maybe. Well, I mean, it was right up against Gasoline Alley.
Well, and it was right up against the media building.
Yeah, but the parking for the staff and team members was maybe like, I don't know, 50 yards away.
If that, yeah.
Yeah.
But I'll take the 50 yards.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, it's 25 steps.
Yeah. So, let's see. So, we got the media passes. We
did the bestie thing.
Yeah. My primary job was just to get video of the crew because Eric of Imam Shots, who is a CrossFit Games photographer and a really good photographer, because I've actually followed him before I even knew who he was.
Totally awesome guy.
Awesome dude.
Hilarious.
Yeah. Especially when he's hungry.
Yeah, when he's hungry
and tired.
He's at a calorie deficit, and he is delusionally loopy.
Yeah.
After 18 hours of work.
Yeah. He was amazing.
It was a good time.
But seriously helpful. Like, he didn't hoard any knowledge. Like, I told him like up front, I'm sorry, but I'm asking a million questions, and he was more than happy to ask every last one of them.
Yeah.
But he was basically all over the track getting those shots for...
He was getting the action shots.
That's for the Reardon Racing. And Brandon was basically getting auxiliary shots of everything else.
Documenting behind the scenes.
Yeah, and then I was getting video around the team, like the pit crew.
Yeah.
And taking some stills. So it was kind of nice that it was a three-pronged approach. And because I kind of deferred to Eric, like what direction everybody was going to go, because I felt like he was the most experienced in what we were doing.
Out of the three of us, he would be the lead photographer.
Oh, absolutely.
I mean, he showed up with the expensive
$10,000 lens.
Yeah. That he rented. It was asked like, oh, you got. He's like, no, I rent this shit.
Because I was like, damn, man, you got the 300. He's like, oh no, I rented this thing.
I rented this. This shit is expensive.
He was like, hell no, this thing's expensive.
And for those that don't know, that lens is like,
it's a $10,000 lens.
It's a $10,000 lens, and it's legitimately 2 foot long, maybe 2.5 foot long. It's a big fucking lens.
With the lens,
once you add
the lens shield, it's
the
about
hood,
2 feet. Lens hood, it's about 2 feet.
Off the body and the hood, it's a big ass friggin' heavy lens. So, but yeah, he was doing his thing and getting all these shots, and I've got my stuff with my mediocre talent that I need to get back in and start working on again. I mean, I went to school for photography, was like a minor for me, but I haven't really picked up a camera in 6 or 7 years. It's been quite a while, so
But like I was telling you though, like you have the eye never changes.
No, the eye never changes.
It's just the gear.
So, but
I mean, because after you figured out your initial
I forgot
hiccups,
to change the shutter.
Yeah.
I was shooting shutter priority, and I'm just like, why isn't the shutter changing? After 2 hours, I didn't change it. Yeah. That's why. I'm an idiot.
Yeah, so I mean, it took you about an hour to figure that out.
Yeah.
And after that, you were fine.
After that, it was good. From there, it's just messing around with making sure that, I think I stayed between 125 and 800
for the shutter speed.
For the shutter speed. Yeah, for the shutter speed.
Okay.
125th of a second to 800th of a second.
Oh, okay.
Which is really goddamn fast.
Yeah.
At one point, I was up to 8,000th of a second, which is maxing out my camera, and I was still getting like this blowout.
Everything was white.
Everything, like background was white. Some of the pieces of the cars were white. I'm just like, all right, I can't shoot it. I can't shoot into the sun anymore. Like, I'll have to go in post and like really change the exposure.
Really work that over.
If the shots are even good, like worth
salvaging. Yeah.
Yeah, because I've got about probably legitimately close to 4,000 photos. Because some of it was spray and spray, and a lot of it was take the same shot 4 times, changing the shutter speed several different times just to try to. God, that is a bloody scene.
Yeah.
On the road.
Looked like a deer.
It could have been a Sasquatch.
Could that too.
But yeah, it was getting back into photography is something I think I'm gonna have to do now.
Inspired by the race, not Mo. Liz.
Inspired by Mo, not the race.
So after we kind of figured out what we were doing, everything. We all kind of went our separate ways, and
it fell in line real fast.
Fell in line, and we're gonna get all our footage together and just kind of share, and it was pretty cool.
Yeah,
it was my first time shooting automotive sports. I've done motorcycles before, which is a little bit different and a little bit. It's a little bit different because motorcycles, you can only race them for so long before they have to come in, before they just have to stop racing.
Right, they get hot.
Yeah, they get hot and they run out of fuel.
Yeah, I've done drag races, and not 2 drag queens running down the track like
drag
15,000 horsepower like Hemis and shit just, blowing 9-second quarter miles down a track. And that's easy.
And then don't they have to rebuild the engine after every run?
Some of them, not all. The dragsters, they get maybe 2 or 3 out of it. Like the actual dragsters, I'm talking like guys with, 69 Chargers
those guys, like street
that
rides.
have like 800 to 1,000 up to 1,500 horsepower.
Okay.
Those are running back to back, and they're running on, nitrous and race fuel and just the smell of like burned off race fuel and nitrogen in the air is something completely different than what we experience today. It'll give you a headache like real fast. But yeah, dragsters is easy. Like drag racing is easy. You just stand there and they're coming at you. Yeah, I mean, they're coming at you, so it's not like you're trying to catch blur or motion blur. But this was a whole other experience of just trying to make sure that everything is right and trying to get the only thing I wish that we had here or at Indy was I wish there was almost a wider gap between pit row and the main drag at the start and finish.
Oh, so we could see over the wall.
Well, so you could see over the wall, or so that us, the media, could get to, because there is literally no place for media to get the start and finish of a race. Like,
well, you can, but you have to have a nasty lens in order to do it.
But
like a 3 or 400. Because I don't know if you saw the one Eric got that they posted for the win today.
Oh no,
he took it yesterday. He said, "Yeah." I was like, I looked at the picture. He's like, "Dude, that is a killer shot." He's like, "I'll let you know a little secret." He's like, "I took those yesterday." He's like, "Yeah, I figured I'd take a couple.
Same car.
Keep them just in case we need them for tomorrow."
Same car.
But he said he was on top of the paddocks, and he said it took him like 5 or 6 tries to
get that.
To get it, yeah. Because he said he was shooting it vertical.
Okay.
Because he was trying to get the tower, the start tower.
Oh, okay, yeah.
In the shot. Because the one that's posted on Instagram doesn't have the tower in it.
I gotcha. The flag tower,
yeah,
whatever. Yeah, but yes, you would have to have I just wish that there was a better, like even a tower, like a pedestrian bridge of some kind
or just something elevated behind pit lane.
Yeah, for media. Like to be able to go up there and shoot.
And for it to block all the luxury boxes behind us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because you can't, unless you can get into a luxury box.
But
there's
then glass.
You got glass, boxes, which is going to be a problem too. But they just, I wish there was a better way.
Darn it. I forgot to. I meant to go back to the media center and take a picture from up there.
Oh.
So when we had to go to that meeting on Saturday morning, they said, "Yeah, go to the media center." And I don't know what I was expecting, but I certainly wasn't expecting that.
I was not expecting what was there. There had to have been 70, 80 TVs hanging from the walls.
Yeah.
In just rows of tables.
The media center, God, it had to be, I'd easily say 100,000 square feet.
Yeah, easy.
From front to back. And
it's the whole 4th floor of that building.
of the building next to the pagoda.
Yeah.
If you're familiar with the Indy Motor Speedway. And there was rows of desks that probably had about 10 seats in each row, and each seat in front of it had like power outlet, USB, Ethernet, and just like large flat surfaces. And because when we went up there, like there was stuff already in there, and I was kind of confused. But people like already go in there and they claim their spaces.
Yeah.
So for guys that do this for a living, like it was really awesome because they had like a refrigerator where they could go put their food. They had coffee and drinks.
There were soundproof
and there was
broadcasting.
In the back, yeah, there were soundproof booths back there. And then I didn't realize it at first, but that little window space next to those soundproof booths, that was for interviews.
Oh.
So, like, you could take a camera in there and you get a nice view of the track.
Well, that's an interesting Tesla. It is yellow-gray camo.
Yeah. I don't know who they're trying to hide from unless it's, like, colorblind people.
Bananas.
But, yeah, like, that just goes to show you, like, how much they value, media.
Media, yeah. Like
for their track.
Yeah. They know that
shoulder ahead.
They understand that now it's not the like TV broadcasting so much anymore.
Mm-hmm.
They used to permeate everything. Now you've got guys coming in from all different venues,
mm-hmm.
like from different teams.
Oh, there were people I heard, like the one guy that was in pit lane during the pit stop taking pictures. He was English, I think.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, there were people from, like, literally all over the world here to cover this stuff. I think the furthest team I saw that travel was from Australia.
Wow. I would want to get out of Australia right now, too. I don't blame him.
So, yeah, that
Police
was...
reported ahead.
Well, and even Eric said that, like, he had never seen a media center, or media
area
space
like
that
so nice.
large. Yeah, that nice.
Yeah, it was enormous. Like, I could probably put a couple of my houses in this place.
Easily. Like, I think it was bigger than the barn where my horses live.
Yeah.
That's pretty damn big. You've seen it.
I've seen it, yeah. It's huge.
Just as far as, like, the sheer surface area, it was bigger than our barn.
Yeah, it was amazingly nice.
Yeah.
And that's where the roof
Watch
access
out,
was.
vehicle on shoulder ahead.
Yeah, I would take this detour because there's construction that's been going on, like, all football season. Because I have to come this way.
Slow
Watch
traffic
out, vehicle
ahead.
on shoulder ahead.
Well, it goes down to one lane.
Oh, fuck all that. I ain't doing that.
No, not today, Satan.
I ain't doing that. Thanks, Obama.
So, like, looking back on the weekend, like, what's one thing that, like, was kind of, like, what's one thing that you took out of that you just saw that was like, oh, that's interesting? Like, something that you weren't expecting?
Don't piss off Andrea.
Well, aside from that.
I would say how well organized everything was.
Mm-hmm.
Like, the overall...
The staff was super nice.
Yeah, like, staff is amazing. Like, everybody's like, hey, good morning, how you doing? Welcome to Indy, blah, 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 blah. When you walk in, like, there wasn't anybody that had a God complex.
Mm-hmm. Like, hey,
like,
you can't go here.
You can't go here.
Yeah.
My white band says otherwise. Or, you didn't have to argue with anybody on... And I've been to events where, you have enhanced passes. I don't want to call them VIP, but you have an enhanced pass to do something, and someone's like, yep, you can't come in here. And it's like, I just left here.
Yeah.
I can come back. And so it's just one of those things that's... It was nice to see that everybody was really nice. Like, didn't see anybody get hit by a car, even though there's legitimately race cars running all over the place.
To make that statement, like, it's impressive that more people don't get injured.
Yeah.
Because there's plenty of people walking around not paying any damn bit of attention. And there's, like, race cars, they're coming scooters,
off the track, there's golf carts,
like,
motorcycles,
utility vehicles running all over the place.
Tire racks.
Yeah.
Garbage disposal trailers.
And that was one of the things that I observed that I was like, wow, it's just how much traffic there is off the track.
Yeah.
In terms of support, whether it be, like you said, tires or people shuttling food or shuttling drivers back and forth. Mm-hmm. Like, that was really impressive. And just, like, the network of safety measures that they had in place to ensure people wouldn't get injured. Well, to the best of their ability. I'm sure people, no matter how hard you try, someone's going to hurt themselves.
But yeah, that's what I liked about it. Just everything around the organization of it, the efficiency of it, like getting cars on and off the track seemed to be a painless process. And when I'm watching it,
yeah, considering there were I think at the most were like 40 cars.
Yeah, and they all get on at the same place and get off at the same place.
Yeah, and even with that, knowing that there's 50 pits.
No, there's more than that.
60? I think it's like 60.
Because there's the whole pit row that we were in.
Yeah.
And then there are garages.
Well, I mean, I'm talking about the pits.
Yeah, there's probably...
I think 60 maybe.
Well, we were in 17. So yeah, probably close to 60.
But like I was saying, I think they were at the most this whole weekend. There were like 40 vehicles, and just as fast as they got on, they were all off.
Yeah,
and you didn't even see. There was no like traffic jams or bottlenecks. It was just like it was efficient. I think is probably the best way to describe it.
Efficient. It was smooth.
But again, they've been doing this for 110 years.
Yeah,
at this track, so they probably know a thing or two about a thing or two.
I hope so. At this point. But yeah, and the hand whistles, that cracked me up.
Yeah, I had seen them before on Amazon, but I wasn't quite sure what the practical application for them were until this weekend. So basically, it looked like they had like little flashlights in their hands.
It's a little wand, and it flashes.
Yeah, and instead of like them yelling or using a physical whistle, they just push this little button and it makes a whistling sound. And people look up, when you hear a whistle.
Yeah. Look up and get the hell out of the way, and because that just meant that somebody was coming through, and vehicles have priority there.
Oh, absolutely.
It's not a pedestrian.
Yeah,
crossing.
That's one thing I did pick up on is vehicles have the right of way.
Vehicles have the right of way. Like you get the hell out of the way when it doesn't matter if it's a guy on an electric scooter, or a $500,000 race car coming down the road.
Anything with wheels definitely has.
It has priority. Actually, I saw a guy on a one wheel.
Oh, I did not.
When I was out shooting yesterday, I was on the back straight under the pedestrian bridge, and this guy just comes out. He just comes out of nowhere, walks by me, and I'm a good ways away from where he came in at. Because you can only get on the backside, you can only get in certain spots. Like you either have to get in at the beginning of the gate or the beginning of the fence, or you have to walk
all the way down,
like 200 yards, 250 yards down to get into another gate to get into the shooting area, past where the peons can't go.
The normies.
Yeah, and I was all the way down, like in between the two gates, it was like a good 100 yards away. And I'm walking back, and we pass each other. And I stopped at one of the openings in the fence and took some shots. I turn around, there's a one wheel sitting on the ground. And I'm like looking around, I'm like,
where's its person?
Whose is this? Like, I may walk away with a one wheel. Once this is all said and done, I'm gonna take my shots, and then I'm gonna look left and right, and I may just pick this thing up and ride it away. Well, it was the guy that I passed.
Oh, okay.
Because a lot of people, like I was the only guy out there walking. Like everybody was showing up on golf carts, or they had little mini bikes and all that stuff. Because it's a haul. It wasn't close.
Yeah, the track is 2.5 miles around the oval, but they can configure it to make it like a road course. Yeah, and there's a lot of real estate inside of that, on the infield of that track.
Hell yeah, there is, and I've walked all of it on the infield. But yeah, so the guy showed up, he picked up the one wheel, and he turned around, and he took off on it like he knew what he was doing with it, so I assumed he's the owner. But I was like, damn, all right, So I'm kidding, I would not have taken a one wheel, I would have taken it to a lost and found of some kind. I'm not that big of an asshole. That's like a $800 or $1,000 toy.
Yeah. Yeah, another thing I can recall is like just the smells.
Oh, like I love the smell of gasoline, like burning.
But there are distinctive smells. Obviously, the race fuel has a certain smell.
Yeah.
But like whenever someone damaged their vehicle like that, either the smell of oil,
burning plastic,
or burning carbon fiber.
Yes.
Like because it was weird. Like when I could smell something, I knew like a specific thing was wrong with a vehicle as it passed by.
And the sounds.
Well, that too.
The sounds, like the sound of a
car with a down cylinder.
Yeah, with a blown cylinder, or with because they can't modify the engines. We found out today.
Yeah.
The engines are shipped by Porsche or Lamborghini, and they're sealed. Mm-hmm. They're literally sealed and tagged.
It's like an iPhone.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you break that seal, you bought it.
You bought it. Well, you're disqualified. In that case.
Too.
So.
And then so they're sealed from the manufacturer, but then before the race starts, the vehicles have to go through inspection.
Yep.
And they put security tags on certain parts of the engine.
Like throttle bodies and things like that to make sure that they don't get tampered with.
Yeah.
Now, software-wise, they can run the software however they want.
Mm-hmm.
So,
what we discovered.
So you're basically talking about a normal configuration engine, like nothing crazy. So Lamborghinis, they're, V10s, V12s, whatever they've got going on in those, that particular car is coming from Lamborghini
sealed.
And I'm going to go out on a limb, and I'm probably going to end up being wrong. But they're going out, as a configured, 500-600 horsepower motor.
Mm-hmm.
Now, once they, drop that in there with the gearing and the lack of whatever exhaust is there, just a couple of pipes that are coming off of that thing.
But then they change the fuel mapping.
And they change the fuel mapping.
And they have high pressure fuel rails.
Yep, and they're maybe trying to, do some sort of compression change through software.
Mm-hmm.
That thing is probably closer to 750 horsepower wise after all that. They are so loud. It is music to my ears. Just like when we got there on Friday, I was just like, oh, listen to that.
And it's weird because certain vehicles, their sound is very specific.
Yes.
Like the Lamborghinis are more of a high pitch, which is what the vehicle that's Reardon Racing uses.
Yeah, they have two Lamborghini Hurons. LP whatever GTs.
So so we got used to that sound because that's what we heard up close and personal. But the one that had the most distinctive sound was the damn Aston Martin.
Well, the Aston Martin, but I think that Bentley, and what I think is funny is the Bentley and the Lamborghini basically have the same V10 motor.
Okay.
But that Bentley motor was deep.
Yeah.
Like crazy deep.
It sounded very ominous.
Yeah.
As it came down the front straight, which was kind of where we spent most of our time.
Which now I want a Bentley that I can take the exhaust off of and run it.
Yeah, what we had. So different vehicles that were out there. We saw Toyota, Lamborghini.
Toyota Supra, Lamborghini Huron. And every Lamborghini out there was the same. It was all there wasn't no one had
a Countach or anything.
Not the Countach. There was, I'm blanking on the Aventador. Mm-hmm. There wasn't any Aventadors out there. Nissan. There was a couple. No, there wasn't any Nissans.
No,
take it back.
The Acura.
There was the Acura NSX. Porsche. GT3 RSs.
Did we say Bentley already?
There was the the Bentley Continental. What else? Ferraris. Mm-hmm. A couple Ferraris.
BMWs. Mercedes.
Yeah, Mercs. Jesus, those Mercs were amazing too. Like the AMG GTs or GT AMGs. If I could have any impractical car or two, that GT AMG from Mercedes is just a basic two-seater that looks like something that come out of Speed Racer.
Yeah, like I said, it looks like a evil, like one of the bad guys from Speed Racer would drive that vehicle with that big, massive, aggressive grille.
Yeah, like that thing and that Bentley. That Bentley is kind of practical as it has a back seat technically, but like the Porsche GT RSs
weren't there a few Lotuses out there too?
I didn't see any Lotuses.
Okay.
Because Lotus only makes the...
but for the other classes.
There may have been. I wasn't paying attention, to be honest. There was a whole Porsche, GT class that was out there running yesterday after...
After we were done.
We were done.
With qualifying.
And that just sounded like...
It sounded like during the warm-up laps, it sounded like giant bees were...
It sounded like just a hive of angry hornets.
Yeah.
But hearing one of them was fine.
Because I remember hearing all of them. I just looked over my shoulder. I was like, what is that?
He's just like, ugh. It sounds like a bunch of Honda Civics.
Yeah.
Oh, it's Porsches. My bad. But, yeah, what else was out there? There was something else out there, too.
In the stuff we were watching?
Yeah, Mustang. There was a Mustang.
No, a Mustang.
A Mustang.
Yeah.
One single Mustang.
That was just on Saturday. I didn't.
Yeah, I didn't see. He wasn't
them
out there
on
today.
Sunday.
And then I think that's it. I think that's basically all the cars in that GT series for what they were doing. But it was real crazy. Like today was the day that they needed. Like I think Jeff was upset yesterday because he didn't come in first in the Masters division.
So, but backing up a little bit, so the quote amateur driver and Masters driver coming into Saturday had a chance to win the title.
Yeah.
But on Friday, one of the vehicle's motors broke, and
not just broke.
There's a hole in it.
Had an oil leak and blew a hole in the side of the block.
Yeah. So the one vehicle, I guess, is set up for sprints or shorter races.
One's a sprint. One's a GT sprint car. The other one's a GT.
Then the other one is set up for longer races. So longer meaning like to run more than 45 minutes.
Yeah. Like 3 hours.
Yeah. And Jeff, the car that I think he needed was the one that broke.
Yeah. The one that broke, he was in like 6th position, I think, going into...
Oh, no. He started in 19th because...
No. I mean, before when he qualified
for today?
In 191.
Oh, yeah. For Saturday.
For Saturday, he was in like 6th position, starting position, because they had to swap out the cars.
And when you swap out cars...
It's not the same car.
It's not the same car, so you have to start at the back of the pack.
Start in last. So he started in
19th.
last. Yeah, 19th, and worked his way all the way up into 6th, which put him in 2nd place based on scoring.
Yeah.
So...
Because I feel like the two cars were equal, but I feel like Jeff was a better driver than that other guy. It's just Jeff couldn't catch him because he had to get through all that traffic.
Yeah.
And there were no cautions during the race, which I found bizarre.
Yeah, not a single one.
Because usually if there's a caution, that would have...
catch up.
Yeah, he could catch up. And that would have made it a little bit more even for Jeff to catch that other guy, Luck.
Yeah.
And...
Luck. That was...
Yeah, it's just... once you get so far behind, then you get caught up with lap traffic, and it's just...
Can't work
he ran out of time.
Through, and speaking of working your way through lap traffic... That McLaren. McLarens were out there too. There was a McLaren from Inconspicuous Racing. This guy was lapping motherfuckers.
Yeah.
Like,
He almost lapped Jeff.
He almost lapped Jeff.
Yeah.
And Jeff was running...
And Jeff finished 6th.
This guy was in 1st, and he was lapping people left and right. Like that...
But for clarity, they were
in separate classes.
There were different classes running simultaneously.
Yeah, there was about 3 classes running simultaneously yesterday. But
and
he was...
This guy in the McLaren was just taking no prisoners for any class. He was just like...
He's like, I'll take you, and I'll take you, and I'm coming for you.
And it was just... He was just surgical.
It was a flawless run. Mm-hmm. Like, it was absolutely...
That guy ran the perfect race.
Yeah, and then today he got bumped off. He cut in front of Jeff. So that McLaren today cut Jeff off. Jeff bumped him, not on purpose, but they touched, and that McLaren,
first lap.
And first lap, second turn, and that McLaren was off the road.
Yeah,
and I think he still ended up coming back in that car and doing some damage to people, like just passing them left and right. But yeah, that McLaren was nasty car, like just super nasty. But yeah, anyway, so Jeff was running, so he ran good yesterday. Took 2nd overall, and then today him and Vesco they ended up taking first, and Vesco is an assassin. Like that dude murdered.
He might not be the
last
politest guy.
Yeah,
I didn't interact with him. I intentionally didn't interact with him just because of what I was hearing from other people.
I tried to say hi, and he just kind of looked past me. So okay.
He said "excuse me" to me when I was filming one time. Because he walked right in front of me and saw that I was filming. But that's okay.
Yeah, well, at least he said "excuse me."
Yeah. So Jeff started in 19th.
Jeff started in 19th today.
Out of 40.
Out of 40. And this is for a 3-hour enduro, so everybody's on the same level. That's not like, it's not, different. I don't think there were different classes. Or maybe there are classes.
There were 2 classes, but 2 races.
Yeah.
So it had the Pro-Am, which was
Jeff and Vesco.
And then I don't know what the other class was, but there was an 8-hour race and a 3-hour race.
Yeah.
The team we were there with, they chose to run the 3-hour race. So Jeff rode for about, I think he went a little bit longer than Vesco. Because normally they split it up 90 minutes.
Yeah, I think he went about probably a little over an hour with one stop.
Mm-hmm.
And then
probably went another 45 minutes.
Yeah, and then they pitted again, swapped drivers, and then never pitted again after that. Never stopped again. Like Vesco came through pit lane for just a visual on the passenger side of the car.
Oh no, he didn't come through pit lane. He just went through. Jason went out.
Oh no! Vesco actually came into pit lane, and they did a visual. It was around the 20-minute mark.
Okay.
Because it was when he was gonna pit again.
Oh, okay.
And you'd thrown the helmet on my head to go. For the lolly.
I missed I missed that.
Yeah, he came through pit lane. He slowed down to get a visual. Like
something felt funny.
Yeah, or it was either something felt funny or maybe Zach called him in because of a reading or something, and they wanted to get a visual on the passenger side of the car, and so he slowed down. I don't know. I can't remember what the speed limit is. Okay,
or 45 is the.
So he slowed down to probably about 30.
Oh wow!
Like he got slow, and then the minute that he passed, they gave him, and he. So whatever the issue is that Jason ran out to the track to check.
Oh, I bet you it was that front fender.
They checked it again.
Okay.
He came
that front
in for
wing.
A visual. Yeah.
Because we noticed that at the end.
Oh, when he clipped it. Yeah.
We noticed that because when Jason ran out at the very beginning, I didn't know what was going on, and then I didn't know until the end of the race when I looked at the car physically.
Yeah.
And it was like, man, that's broke. And they're like, oh yeah, that happened in the first turn.
Yeah. So but he never pitted again, and he ended up in that last. It was probably in the last 3 laps. He went from.
Oh no! It started. So when Jeff got out of the vehicle, I think around 8.
I wasn't around, so I couldn't see the leaderboard.
When the swap happened, Jeff got up to about 8th place, and then when Vesco jumped in, and Vesco just stayed. He was in 16th for a long ass time. I do know that. So then Jeff got into about 8th. Everybody pitted, which I didn't know, but you can't pit whenever you want to. There's a pit window. So that really changed things up for me because I'm used to NASCAR where you basically pit whenever you want to.
Yeah, you pit when you need to.
And it's a strategic thing, but with GTs, I guess you have to pit at a certain time, which I think makes things more difficult.
Yeah, you have to plan for it.
Yeah, because but everybody's coming in that same duration, so now you can't out-pit someone. Well, I mean, you could have a really shitty pit stop.
Yeah.
But you can't really tactically out-pit other people. So he sat in about 8th and then slowly slid up to 5th, and he was in 5th for a minute, and then next thing I knew he was in 3rd, and then he was in 2nd, then he was in 1st, and that was all within the last 10 minutes.
Yeah.
So he just he just cruised up the field real, like you said, like an assassin, man. Like he was super quiet about it. Just came in and just boop, 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 boop.
And with that being in the last 10 minutes, that's within the last 5 laps.
Yeah. Yeah, because
he's roughly about 2 minutes a lap.
And then I don't know what I think he just managed to put space between him and everybody else because he finished damn near a minute.
Yeah.
In front of this 2nd place driver, so I don't know if he just really started eating up that lap traffic, and then it just caused everybody else to slow down behind him. But yeah, it was how fast he took over first, and then the margin of space he put between himself and the 2nd place vehicle in the short amount of time he had to do it was pretty impressive.
Yeah, it was wormholey.
Yeah, it was weird.
we're standing there. Like, I know I was standing down there, and they're like, we're in second. They're holding up. You can't hear shit when you're down there, so they're holding up fingers like, well, just two, we're in second. And the next thing is like, shit, we won. we won. Yeah, he took first. I'm like, how the fuck do you do that? Yeah. So like, he just stepped on the gas.
No, because at first Jeff was like, are we in fourth or third? And then somebody was like, we're in third. He's like, oh, I guess I got to go put my uniform, or my, because I got to go put the fire suit back on.
I can't get on 70 here.
Well, this is
the way it told me to go.
Yeah. Wazzy lied to us.
Oh. You son of a bitch. Alright, well, it'll take us 4 minutes out of the way, and...
No, it's going to make you do a U-turn.
I can't do a U-turn.
We need to figure this out.
Yeah, we're going to have to...
We're going to have to just make a left.
Yeah, I'll make a left on Meadows Drive. Is that what that is, where it wants me to do the U-turn?
Yeah.
I'll go left there and just follow that and see where it takes us. Hey, we're backcountry driving now. Woohoo! But yeah, Jeff was like, all right. And then he came back and was like, we won. We won. That was it. Jeff is an interesting guy. I did not have a conversation with him.
No, he was busy.
But he's the driver. He's busy. Like, even if he's not driving, he's standing down there. He's busy. He's focused. He's watching.
He's the amateur.
Yes, he's the amateur to the pro.
And the masters athlete.
Yeah.
And then also part owner.
No, Jeff's not. Jeff is the money behind. He's the sponsor.
Yeah, the Burton Lumber.
But Vesco is the owner.
Okay.
Vesco is the part owner.
Okay.
Jeff is he's the sponsor and the one funding a lot of what they're doing. Because if Jeff were to, for whatever reason, if Jeff were to leave, I don't think that team would be able to sustain itself.
Interesting.
And where are we turning at?
Just turn left.
Here. Okay. But yeah, so it's... Ooh. What is...
No trucks, good thing we're in.
I guess I'm in an SUV, so...
Yeah.
This is like driving down my road. It's like a country road, like legitimate country road.
Yeah.
Where's that taking me now? It's not trying to get us...
This guy's still trying to make you do a U-turn.
I can't do a U-turn. I can't go back. I literally can't go back.
Just keep going straight.
Anyway. Yeah, so it's... Like, this racing thing is actually pretty cool. And I've been talking to my buddy Todd, like, just over Facebook Messenger. Because this is what he does. He did on the side for Racer's Edge race team. And they were there today. But they've been there all week. And with the exact same cars that
he was working on,
that he was doing and photographing. So it was pretty cool to like send him pictures of cars that I've seen I've seen on his Instagram accounts of shit that he's done, and his response is, I miss it, I'm coming back, I'm doing it again, I'm getting back into it. So he kind of stopped because of COVID. And,
so that's pretty recent.
Yeah, it was his last thing he did was November 2020 was the last motorsports
activity
post that he put up. So yeah, it'll be cool if he can start doing it again, and maybe catch him at some races if we continue to do this, which it sounds like that could end up being the case. We'll just have to figure things out.
He's saying this, Liz, not me.
Oh, she knows. I told her it could be. I told her it could end up being a thing. I'm like, this could end up being a thing, and she's like, great.
Hey, well, I'll have to edit this part out, but hey, if she won't let you move, then she could at least let you do this.
Yeah, she can let me do this. I mean, it may still cost me money, but travel expense. But we'll figure that shit out too. See how that works.
Yeah, for my first time doing media for a racing event, I think it was a good experience, but I also think it might set me up in terms of having poor expectation management in the future.
Yeah.
Weather was great. People were awesome. Access was amazing. Resources that were available to us were
outstanding.
beyond anything I ever would have possibly imagined. But yeah, it was. This might have been the best way to start.
Yeah, absolutely. Because, well, and that's what Jason was saying. He was like, just in general, he's like, Sebring was
a shit show.
Was a shit show. It was a mess. Like,
so was it the
officials weren't on their shit? You know, that I don't know about the media stuff, but like officials weren't on their shit. They didn't run very well. The team wasn't. I'm trying to think, more like not coercing, but they weren't
cohesive.
They weren't cohesive. And
Sebring is where?
Is that Atlanta?
Okay,
maybe. I'm not up on my tracks. Like I know
the NASCAR tracks. I don't know.
I don't know. I'm gonna start paying more attention to GT stuff.
Actually, and something I wasn't aware of is this is the first time that GT has come to Indy Motor Speedway.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Because I was talking to a spectator was asking me questions and stuff, and he was saying that he's got the season passes, so he got this plus the Brickyard plus the GP race plus the F1 race.
Oh.
And he was like, "Oh yeah, this is the first time it's ever been here." Because I was commenting like how I liked how you had the feel of a big race, but it wasn't packed.
Yeah, there was spectator wise. That was a slightly disappointing.
They're all in the infield.
Right.
Which I didn't realize until...
They're all sitting on the grass.
Yeah, they're all sitting on the grass.
They're not sitting in the bleachers.
Yeah. Which, I mean, it's a road course. Like, you can't really see anything from the bleachers.
No, you can only see people pass through.
Yeah.
But that's kind of where, I don't know, like, yeah, there's some exciting stuff that happens out on the track.
Mm-hmm.
But if you can't get access to it, like, or you're just not there at the right time...
Mm-hmm.
then it's boring.
You're watching the same turn over and over and over.
Yeah, you're just watching the same cars do the same turns over and over again. Now, occasionally, you get the bump and thrown off, slide off the road.
Mm-hmm.
But that was really few and far between. I think there were really, I wouldn't say crashes. We missed the major crash.
There was one?
Yeah, there was one there Friday before we got there.
Oh,
the team that was right in the same bay as Jason and them.
Uh-huh.
That dude tore up his Aston Martin. Like, he hit a wall. Like, shit went everywhere.
Oh, like in Bay 17?
Yeah. Yeah, because there was another race team in there with them.
Oh, I was wondering why we had so much space.
Yeah, there was another... So, the one dude that filled in was from that other team.
Oh, okay.
He got paid for the week to be with that other team, and he stuck around. He's like, I got nothing better to do, so I'm stick around and watch some cars race. Well, then they ended up pulling him in to help get some stuff done.
Oh, wow, that worked out.
But he was from... the team. He was from the team before and moved to another team and then helped out. So, but yeah, the dude like was coming around one of the turns right there. Well, the turn that you would sit at when you would.
Okay, turn 1 for NASCAR, but it was turn 13 or whatever.
Whatever that last turn, he hit that wall.
Oh wow!
And like parts went everywhere, like up in the air. Like Jason said, he could see shit flying. He hit the wall that hard. And he was fine. He ended up going to the hospital, got checked out.
Okay.
This is a flea market? The hell? There, it looks like it's either like a giant yard sale or...
Yeah, I feel like that's someplace I shouldn't knock on the door and ask for a glass of water.
Yeah. Did he come out of the septic tank? But, yeah, so he was helping out, and that was good, because if he hadn't... I don't know what they would have done if he hadn't helped out.
Yeah.
Because you and I were...
We could not fit in the fire suit.
We couldn't do what we needed to do. I tried. Like, I almost got into the one. Like, I tried on the one. And the one dude ended up leaving also.
Yeah.
Like, he was...
It was his time. He was supposed to go home on Saturday.
Yeah, I know, but...
Wasn't
he? He did.
Okay.
Yeah. But my thing is, like, I look at that, and I drove him to the hotel.
Mm-hmm.
And he talked the entire time.
Mm.
Like, can't wait to get home, see my wife, get a beer.
Has he been on the road for a while?
I don't know.
No.
But I don't think so. I think he just... I don't know. Like, but my thing is like, if I've committed to doing something... A thing, like a job, because it's his job.
What it is, I guess, when you look at it that way.
I'm not going to just up and leave the team, like, when they need me. Like, Liz would be understanding. Like, if something happened, like, say I was supposed to...
You were supposed to be home Saturday.
I'm supposed to be home Saturday, and I said, hey, something's come up, that we're down a person, whatever, they need me to stay, she'd be like, okay. Mm-hmm. Like, that's... Because it's work. It's what's paying the bills. Mm-hmm. Like, sometimes you just got to do shit you don't want to do.
Sometimes you got to stay late.
And sometimes you got to stay late. Like, for my job, I was up at 10:30 the other night, still working on stuff, answering emails. I didn't want to be doing that, but shit's got to get done. Mm-hmm. So now I did end up taking Friday off and said, fuck it, I'm out. Like, I told my boss, I'm like, this is an opportunity I'm not passing up. Mm-hmm. Whatever we didn't install, whatever happens. I'll be back on Monday.
It's nothing that can't wait till Monday.
There's nothing at this point that can't wait till Monday. And he's like, go. He wouldn't have stopped me from going anyway. Because he's a car guy as well.
Oh, okay.
That's how we know each other, is through the Volkswagen club we were both in.
Oh yeah, you did
and
share
then
that.
He's how I met my wife. He's how I met Liz. So, hey, Mo's Auto Sales.
Bum.
But, so he was just like, go. Like, yeah. I'm like, well, I'm not asking. Like, I'm telling you I'm going. I'm not asking you if I can take the time off to go.
Yeah, you should make sure you give him one of those armbands or something.
Yeah, next time I see him. I got an extra orange SRO band in my stuff. But, like, that's a different story. I get, I'm not saying he doesn't get paid time off, but he's a full-time mechanic for the team. So he goes to the garage and he works on the cars. And
he's in Utah?
Yeah. I think so, yeah. So he works on the cars, he does the stuff he's supposed to do, and then
he goes home.
He goes home, and then when the team flies out for a race, he flies out, and your job is to work on the car and make sure that it's running tip-top condition. It shouldn't just be the dude looked like Pedro from Napoleon Dynamite.
That wasn't Brandon.
No, that wasn't Brandon. Brandon was he was referred to as the Asian monk-looking guy. When someone said Brandon, he's like, yeah, the Asian monk-looking guy? And he's like, oh, yeah, okay. Because, also, these guys have never worked with each other before. That's the other part that, like...
Oh, I was not aware of that.
Yeah, that baffled the shit out of me. They're all, like... Well, we were talking to David
This is whole Franken team?
Basically.
Oh.
We were talking to David on the truck.
Yeah.
When we were leaving. He's like, oh, no, this is my first race. What?
You got it. If we're going to Dayton, we have to get in that lane.
Oh. Okay. With this lane here.
Yes.
I'm like, I was getting ready to do the normal...
We don't want to go west. We want to go east.
Glad you were paying attention. Would have to go try to attempt a U-turn somewhere. But yeah, David was like, oh no, he was like, I left the whatever engineering space he was doing.
Oh yeah, he works for California Edison or something.
Yeah, and he's like, I wanted to try something new. And you're like, oh, this is, and he's like, oh no, this is my first time doing this. And you're like, shit. Well then, like, Patrick. Mm-hmm. This is Patrick's first race.
What?
Yeah. This is his first race with the team.
Okay. But he's done this stuff before, I'm assuming?
I don't know. He may have done some race car-y things.
Because I know he said that he's the rowing coach for frickin'...
He fucking CrossFits.
Yeah. What the hell's the people that never lose?
The Swedes?
No, Froning. What's their thing called?
Oh, Mayhem?
Yeah, Mayhem.
He's the rowing coach for Mayhem?
Yeah.
Get the fuck out of here.
He said he rowed at Oxford or something.
On that I can believe.
Well, I can too, because he's huge.
He's huge.
Yeah. He generate a lot of force.
He is a massive...
individual.
Welsh individual.
Yes, Welsh. Not British.
No, him and I got into an argument about what bread sauce was.
I'm not familiar with bread sauce.
I wasn't either. I had to Google it. But before I Googled it, I argued with him about it because I knew nothing about it. So I figured it would make sense.
This is a good time to have an argument.
This was a great time to have an argument about something I don't know. Mm-hmm. And it was when we went and picked up the Bob Evans. And he's like, Thanksgiving dinner, blah, blah, blah. yeah, this is missing bread sauce. And I'm like, bread sauce? You got bread sauce over there. He's like, there's no bread sauce. I'm like, there's fucking gravy over there. I said, you got bread sauce. And he's like, mate, that is not bread sauce. He goes, bread sauce is amazing, and you need to get bread sauce. I'm like, the fuck you mean it's not bread sauce? I said, what the hell is bread sauce? I said, you take some of the juices from the chicken or the beef stock or whatever.
The protein juice. You're
going to take that juice, you're going to put that shit in a pan, you're going to add some flour, you're going to thicken it up with some breadcrumbs. And he's like, you're fucking impossible.
So, for reference,
and then I looked up what bread sauce is, and it is literally milk and bread and maybe some sort of fat, like an oil of some kind, olive oil or something, and some seasonings. And it's basically pureed. And he goes,
so it's gravy?
It's fucking gravy. It's British gravy. Bread sauce is British gravy.
Not familiar at all with bread sauce.
I wasn't either. But now I know that it's gravy. I was right.
Thank you, Patrick.
Thank you, Patrick.
Yeah, hilarious guy, by the way.
Yeah, super funny. Super personable, too.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
He tries to pull this demeanor that he's like a prick, and he is a British prick. Like, he is...
But he's funny.
In the most British way possible.
Yeah.
But the thing that I like, I'm going to jump around. The thing I like a lot about Jason and what he does is we're in the paddocks. We're done racing. And he's like, anybody that's walking by that's staying outside, tell them to come in. Tell them to come in, tell them to look at the cars. Just, we're not touching the cars. So we're I'm telling you, yeah, come on in, have a look, take a picture, whatever. Patrick takes it like the next step, and like he's putting
little kids in the car.
He's putting kids in the car. And I'm like, that's awesome. Like,
yeah.
And his response, he's like, I've done 2 good deeds today, so I don't go to hell. I'm like, you're a better man than I am, because I probably wouldn't have let kids in the car.
Yeah, because I would just tell people, I was like, yeah, go take pictures, just don't touch anything.
Yeah,
then I turn around, I see Patrick just open the door and shove a little kid in there. I was like, man, that's pretty cool.
Get in there.
Yeah.
He gave away 3 hats, like he just right off his head.
Yeah, I have a video of him trying to get out of the car. So the reason why that's so funny, Patrick is...
he's 6'5".
He's 6'5", and by his own admission, he is 260 pounds.
He's 125 kilos. So,
yeah. Which I think I'm going to start telling people my weight in kilos, because 125 sounds way better.
Way better. Like, oh, well, what do you weigh? 75 kilos. 75? Well, that's
75.
That's really only 150 pounds. I take that back. I weigh like 100 and... Well, yeah, about 113 kilos. It's right around like 225.
I'm just going to round down in kilos.
I weigh 1 kilo. I'm 2 stones.
A stone is like 70. It's some weird...
some weird conversion.
Isn't it like Irish or...
Oh, hell, I don't know. They use it all over the place in the UK. Like, the one guy I used to work with was from the UK, but he lived in Brussels because he wanted to get the fuck out of the UK. But he would do that shit. Like, anytime he'd pick up something, he'd be like, oh, this weighs about half a stone. I'm like, well, how much does a stone weigh? He's like, it depends.
That's like a pood.
I'm like, well, pood is an actual, that's a Russian measurement. He would pick up, like, a laptop and be like, it's like a quarter stone. I'm like, well, how much does a stone weigh? He's like, oh, whatever. Yeah, whatever.
It's arbitrary.
I'm like, well, how much do you weigh in stones? He's like, 2.5 stones. I'm like, how the hell can that thing weigh a quarter stone and you're 2.5 stones? And he's like, he goes, it doesn't matter. I'm like, how does that work? So, but yeah, this weekend was great.
Yeah.
Like, it was...
Like, I don't know what I was expecting, but... And I'm not saying that in a negative way, but just... Like, for my whole goal was to help Jason with whatever he needed.
Yes, anything Jason needed, I was like, what do you need from me? He's like, just have fun. Like, relax.
Yeah, he kept saying, just have fun. I'm like, no, dude, like, you're hosting us. You're letting us be there. What can we do to help you?
Yeah.
And, so... Like he didn't have anything for us. He just said, I want you to just capture media however you want to do it.
Yeah, so, just document the behind-the-scenes stuff, because I don't necessarily need the stuff for the cars.
Or the drivers.
Or, yeah.
Nothing against the drivers, but he said there's been nothing to try and highlight the efforts of the team.
Right.
And I understand the value in that.
Yeah.
You know,
and Jason's always been a very, like, he will literally give you the shirt off his back.
Mm-hmm.
He is a very genuine, giving guy.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that, it just, there aren't a whole lot of people on the planet like him.
No.
Like, he's not selfish.
That's the most time I've ever spent with him. I met him at his wedding, but it was his wedding, so I talked to him for like 3 minutes.
But you knew Andrea before you knew Jason, right?
Not much longer, because I knew Andrea about a year before I met Jason.
Okay.
But it was funny because I was talking to Andrea and she was helping me with some projects, and then she said something about, I saw a picture of them together. I was like, oh, you know Jason. And she's like, you mean my fiance? And I'm like, what? I was like, how are you guys engaged?
He's in Ohio, and you're
I was like,
in
it just didn't register. Like, how do you know this guy I kind of know? Like, there's no way that could possibly happen, but, you know, the CrossFit universe is vast.
Yeah, it is.
And that's how they met.
It crosses multi-parallels and multiverses and everything else, yeah. I've known Jason for probably every bit of 8 years.
Mm-hmm.
I've known him for quite a while. And I met him through the Fit United. So I met him...
Hold on. Sorry to interrupt you.